Okay guys, this video tutorial today is all about the Spanish-American War in the Pacific. That is your learning target. At the end of this, you should be able to describe what happened in the Pacific during the Spanish-American War, and specifically about the Philippines, as we'll see. But a quick review of what we know about the Spanish-American War already between Spain and America. Happened in 1898. Remember, Spain used to have a big old empire, but by the time 1898 comes around, they only have like a couple possessions. One of the main ones in our neck of the woods being Cuba and Puerto Rico. So Cuba, Puerto Rico, the Philippines, and Guam are all Spanish possessions, which we're going to take all of them at the end of this war. Okay. Once again, just to remember how close Cuba is to the United States, and that for decades the Cuban people have been trying to get rid of Spain themselves, fighting a little guerrilla war. And so Spain finally gets tired of it and brings in this guy, remember, General Weyler, the butcher, who comes in and says, basically, I'm going to round up all the people and put them in concentration camps. And so the United States decides to send in the USS Maine down to Cuba, to Havana Harbor, which is, remember, it's about like right here. And then guess what happened? The USS Maine blew up. Big explosion. 266 Americans killed. We immediately go, well, that must be the work of Spain. So it's inevitable that we are going to go to war, and Congress finally does declare war. Now remember, at the time, the Assistant Secretary of the Navy is this guy, Theodore Roosevelt. And remember, he loves war. He thinks about war for a country as a person sort of standing up for themselves and proving their manliness in the individual. So he wants war big time. And after the USS Maine is blown up, but we haven't declared war yet, the Secretary of the Navy, a guy named Long, is gone from Washington. So Roosevelt, as the Assistant Secretary of the Navy, and without the President's permission, cables all of our naval fleet all around the world to get ready to rock in case we declare war on Spain. And one of the most famous cables he sends is to this guy right here, Commodore Admiral Dewey. And Roosevelt says, prepare to attack the Spanish fleet in the Philippines in case of war. Why is that so freaky, besides Roosevelt just taking it on his own? Is the Philippine Islands, which Spain owns them at the time, is way far away from Cuba, where the USS Maine is blown up. Look, it's real close to China right here. Well, the place where Dewey is at the time with all his ships is right here in Hong Kong. So when Roosevelt cabled him, that's where he cabled him to. And so once the war starts, they can just leave Hong Kong and sail to the Philippines. But I want you to get this broader view here. Look what else is in the neighborhood. So we got the Philippines, and over here is, God dang it. Over here is China. Up here is Japan. There's North and South Korea. All this stuff is going to, oh, Vietnam, yeah. All this stuff is going to come into play later in our history, because we're going to take over the Philippines, and you don't know it yet, perhaps, but Japan, when they bomb Pearl Harbor, also take over the Philippines on that same day. So, and then here's an even wider view. Look what we're getting ourselves into. There's Cuba right there. Oh my God. If you sail out to the Pacific here, that length right there is about another United States. Then you're going to come out over here. There's another United States. There's another United States. And then it'll leave a little bit more. My point being, the Philippines are way far away from where the war is happening. but we're going to use this as an opportunity to become an imperial power. Now, at first, the president at the time, when the Maine was blown up in 1898, he is our last president to actually serve in the Civil War. So he has seen war up close and wants to do everything he can to prevent it. But the American people, as you might imagine, after 266 sailors are blown up and they're blaming Spain, there's a lot of pressure on him to declare war. And so pretty soon we know that, hey, Spain's fleet's coming to Manila, that's in the Philippines, to be attacked. And the Marines will land in Cuba. It's on. So once again, remember Roosevelt had cabled Dewey in Hong Kong. Dewey is now going to sail with ships and come into Manila Bay. Spain's fleet, Spain's navy's ready to rock it up with us, but we just destroy them with no problem at all. Nobody dies. We just like destroy the heck out of them. Yeah, there's a famous little painting from the... So Dewey captures Manila. Dewey smashes Spain's fleet. He becomes like a hero big time. Some of you who actually care about history a little bit might have heard of the guy's name before, but that's how he becomes sort of a household name, by going in there and beating the crap out of Spain and the Philippines, and we get to take over that island. And we become an official imperial power. Remember, imperialism is taking over another country that's sort of weaker than you. So we join these other imperial powers. Great Britain's in Asia. France got Vietnam and Cambodia and Laos. All these countries have just carved up Asia like it's their own. And now the United States is a part of the game. So that's it for today, guys.